Well, I think for us, it's interesting to me since I work in Europe that I started working on privacy in the US, and then in moving to Europe and working on it here, the culture is so different. It's so different. And here it is much more assumed that privacy is important and it's taken with care, and people are very aware of, cookie rights and the information that they are granting to websites and to companies and businesses and whatnot. And it seems in my experience, this has just sort of a fairly new thing, maybe, since GDPR, since 2018. A lot of companies in the US were really just sort of realizing this was going to be important, and they had to put some budget aside to protect this. And also at the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot of regulatory fines on US companies in the first few years. That's really ramped up a lot. And I think that has made a lot of US companies a lot more aware of the importance of investing in it. And even, with the new AI Act, the parts of it that just became enforceable involve a literacy. You have to have your employees that work with AI have to be literate about using it and about the privacy protections in it. So as I was saying, it's easier here than it was in the US, but still the importance of it with the regulatory fines, with the possible damages to reputation. I mean, that's really what companies are. I mean, that's something that can take years to rebuild, if they can rebuild it. If trust is lost, that is a very important focal point. And that, I think, has really caught CEO level attention on protecting companies' hard worked reputation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the brand awareness, I think, is something huge, Sarah. We've just celebrated 100 years, and ethical behavior and trust is what we're built on. And doing something that would jeopardize that and lose our trust of our business partners, our employees, it would just be devastating to us as an organization, to the ownership, and it would just be very, very difficult to recoup from damages that you could have avoided. And I think you're right. The fines, money talks, unfortunately, right? When there's a threat of significant fines and reputational damage or loss of business and sales due to violations and things, it gets everybody's attention quickly. I do want to add, though, doing it because it's the right thing is the way to go. Because you do that, I like to use the term, you take the high road, right? Not because somebody's looking over your shoulder, but you protect your employees' data because it's the right thing to do. You use privacy by design because it's the right thing to do, not because it's stated in some GDPR manual, but because it's the right thing to do. So whenever you can mitigate risk, you do so. When you need resources, you have to scream loudly for them sometimes, and it's challenging because of competing directives and things of that nature. But you're always going to want more resources than you have, and it's always going to be a challenge. But there is value that we bring to the table: the trust, the brand awareness, the way we answer audits from our key vendors, our strategic vendors, and they come back and they say, "Well, Technor is a trusted partner," and that goes a long way when you have two vendors that maybe one is less trusted or doesn't have the type of systems and services. So
yeah,
exactly. So Kathleen, the budget problem, the resource problem, it will always be there. And it's just something that you have to have the trust of executive management. When you need resources, you ask for them. And if you're persistent, you'll get them. But you may not get them when you want them. You may not get as much as you want. But if the company is committed to your privacy program, you will get what you need to do the job reasonably effectively.